just get past the ankle line. So I'm looking to get to a position like sort of like a split squat position or a headquarters position where I'm past the line of the ankles and I've gotten to a good position where I can start passing. So split squat, headquarters, so like cross hamstring, same hamstring. I'm also looking to take a flank and get over my knees to pass the knee line here. Technically still past the ankle line, or on the other side as well. I want to get 3 of those, and then I can look to pin the shoulder line. So maybe like we're moving around. Frank's goal is to keep his feet in front of him and to retain his guard. Let's say I get like a split squat, I get headquarters, and I also take the flank to get outside here. Now that I've got 3 times, now I can start looking to put more pressure and pin the shoulder line. When I pin the shoulder line with the mat, I don't necessarily have to be past the legs. If I get into a half guard and I'm able to just pin him, just like this, I'll consider that a win. And then obviously if you completely pass and get side control in the shoulder line. Frank's goal is to just, there's really no win condition for him. It's just figuring out how to make my life difficult. Getting his feet in front of me, good guard movements. If you guys want to challenge, you can also challenge yourself not to use your hands. But feel free to use your hands. Questions? Let's see. So I'll start in side control. You can pick what position you start in. So you can pick normal side control. You can pick this judo side control position. You can even go reverse if you want to do this one as well. So pick whatever pin position you want. I'm looking to maintain the pin as long as possible. I can transition to other pin positions. So like if I start in side control, I can transition to judo, I can transition to reverse judo, I can transition to mount, I can transition to knee belly, whatever that keeps the pin going. Frank's goal on bottom is to get all 4 frames in, disconnect or reset those. Any questions? And then if you feel comfortable, just flip flop. Alright, I'll do all the last sections. Also a review of the last 2-ish weeks. We'll start in mount where I have both elbows collected. So really good position for the offensive person on top. I'm looking to submit, whether it's looking for arm bars, looking to go to spider web, looking to maybe get one arm down, and if you want to go for head and arms, go for triangles, get creative, whatever you guys want from all of this stuff. A lot of person is looking to get elbows down and also guard back, disconnect, reverse. Yes, first locks are legal as well. Alright, I'm doing nursing it back. Going back where we left off Monday. So the first thing we'll do is play a retention game. So I have a seatbelt, overhook, underhook. And we'll start on, you can fall to whichever side, it doesn't really matter. And basically I'm looking to retain the back while Frank is looking to escape. And then the win condition for me is I want to switch my seatbelt and then get it back to where it started. So I have an underhook on my left side right now. So while Frank is trying to escape this whole time, I'm looking to get a seatbelt switch. And then switch back. And then if I am able to switch my seatbelt back to the original starting position, then I've completed the condition. Obviously, Frank's not going to make that easy. He's going to be grabbing at my hands, trying to disconnect them. And then I'll also looking to escape his legs out. So I'm going to maintain the back while I'm doing this. So maintaining chest and back alignment, maintaining it. Feel free to go to any side that you need to in order to complete the seatbelt switch. Just like a note, I always think of like my underhooks as control. So like if I do make a switch, I'll go double unders. It's really like when I'm doing submissions right now, but double unders is a pretty strong position to keep the back. Whereas overs are more for like attacking. So like our rear naked jumps later, but for now we're looking to maintain control of that. Any questions? Alright, on to the two. Next game we're gonna start in a pretty compromised position for the defender. So we have our over under, and where we're going to start is I'm going to have the attacking overhook. I'm going to come all the way around and grab his shoulder like this right here. So like I'm also like sort of under the chin, and then my chin is covering my hand, so it's kind of like a one-arm choke. So if you guys have ever done a one-arm choke, like you get pretty deep all on the shoulder here, and then I'm basically rotating, keeping my hand where it is, protecting my hand from Frank's, like he might be trying to grab it, which is why I want to keep my chin over it. And from here, like I can do a one-arm choke by rotating, finishing, or I can shoot my hand, the bicep of my other hand to my choking arm, choking hand right here, and then hiding this hand behind it. Now you get the rear naked choke. With the rear naked choke, I'm thinking elbows together first, and then elbows rotate to choke. So the place where we'll start this game is a one-arm choke right here, like this. And so the goal of the attacker is going to be to finish, whether it's if you can just do a one-arm choke, or shooting the spear, shooting this hand in, I grab my own bicep, and then I execute a rear naked choke. So Frank's starting position is pretty much correct. Like he gets to grab the forearm. And then depending on your level, so I think like most everybody here is a colored belt, I would fully expect, like you could start with your hands grabbing the wrist and the forearm, or you can start with nothing. And right when you guys go, like shrug your shoulders and tuck your chin to give you enough time to like do a late escape or a late defense, grab the thumb and defend that way. So that's like one way, is like you want to lift your shoulders and tuck your chin, which can help you defend. And then me as attacker, I have to fit, like the only way to gain that is if I finish. And then Frank is looking to defend the rear naked choke. Open my hands, turn the face. Yeah. Any questions?
Just heard choke, but he hasn't lost the seatbelt yet. That's the good thing.
It does not. So if you clear the choke and you still have a seatbelt, you can go again until you get out. But yeah, you're starting from a pretty compromised position. Ideally, you keep it so you can practice your naked choke. Go through it one more time, just for anyone who hasn't seen it before. Basically, getting a one-armed choke under the chin. So right here. I'll do it on the other side so people can see. Right here. And basically, when I shoot this cannon, I want to be like careful about how I shoot. If I just like, grab my own bicep, yeah, Frank's just gonna grab it, and maybe even arm bar me here if I'm not careful. So I kind of just like to open up this space a little bit, shoot this in, and it naturally turns into me grabbing my bicep, and then my hand is hidden in the head. Technically, this is not over. Like, Frank can still look to grab my hands and undo the knot and try to defend. So it's not over until it's over. From here, I shoot, get my elbows together, and then both to one side. Any questions? Alright, 1, 2, and 2.
I will find it so far.
When Frank is grabbing, when Frank is grabbing my wrist or my forearm, it actually is not terribly threatening. I can still walk my hand up and still get behind and still finish the stroke. If you grab my thumb though, that's a different story. That no longer walk, and it's quite a strong defense. Do a little grip fight. So if I'm here and Frank's starting to grab my thumb, I want to get rid of that. Whether it's just grab it and push it away, whether it's sometimes I can grab the tricep first to be a little less threatening, and then it's also pretty good for me, a pretty good position for me to fight the hands. Maybe you can hold just for a second as I get my one arm back. Look for that here. Because this is the overhook, the underhook side, you can also do the underhook grip and pinning it to their chest. So they only have this cross arm to go for their thumb. And if you have very good head position, it could be hard to do. Maybe you can always do some sort of hand fight here until you're ready to shoot. Know that depending on which side you fall, if I fall on the choking side, shooting is very dangerous. If I fall on the underhook side, it's a little tougher because you're on the arm that you pull up. So if you do end up on this side, you might have to just do a little finessing where you pull them up a little bit and get up on this elbow, and then shoot it in the same way. But it just requires a little bit more of bringing your opponent's weight up. So we'll try this again with new partners. Any questions? Anything else you guys have trouble with? Alright, that's it. On to escaping the back. So whenever I think about escaping the back, there are two things going on. I'm misaligning the hips and I'm misaligning chest to back connection. So when I was taught this, I always split it up into escapes from the overhook side and then escaping the underhook side. Do whatever feels natural to you. I think when I first started, it was just things I executed on overhook side and underhook side. Now it's just I want to misalign my back from his chest. So maybe get my back to the mat or get my back facing upwards. And then also getting my hips to do the same thing. Because once both of them are gone, he basically doesn't have my back anymore. So we'll first talk about the down here. It's going to be similar on both sides. It's basically getting rid of this bottom thing, whether it's using my opposite foot, pushing the mat so my knee can get over it. Once my knee gets over it, I can misalign my hips. Let's say I can't get rid of it, but maybe I can get rid of the top hook. Same thing, I can still misalign my hips. Now it's he has to follow me or he's going to lose my control. So again, we'll go with this one just because I think it's easier for most people. I misalign my hips now. Now I have to misalign the rest of his chest to back connection. You can see already it's pretty good. My shoulders are almost pretty much to the mat, with the exception of this shoulder. And so with the overhook side, the easy thing is to just fight the grip, bring it over your head, and the key thing is to get this elbow out into the mat. Once that happens, now it becomes a little bit of a scramble who can get up first, but you're at least out of the back. So again, we're here. And ideally it happens all at the same time. escape here, and then turn immediately. So that's overhook side. Underhook, the feet is pretty much the same thing. Like I'm looking to use my feet, my hands, to swim out of the bottom hook, so I can get my hips to the mat. If that's hard, you can always do it out of order. I can always go misalign my chest, my back to his chest first. So unlike the overhook, there's more leeway here. If Frank's head is tight, that's fine. Like I still can find a way to get my head to the mat. And now it becomes like escaping this far shoulder here. So instead of the far elbow, now it's the far shoulder. So I'm looking to pop it out and look to flatten my back to the front. Because if my back is to the mat, it's out to his chest. And then if he has his hooks, it becomes infinitely easier once I get this position to sort of get his hooks out and then basically just push out. Yeah.
How would you deal with the big form of somebody?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go over that in a different, but that's fine. We can talk about body triangles. We're basically looking to use your feet as hands in order to turn this back into close. So if someone does body triangle on you, like the point of a body triangle is to hold the hips square, right? So the way that I usually get rid of body triangle is I bring this leg down and I pinch the foot, pass it off, and then I use the inside of my thigh, knocking this back down in the hooks. And immediately when it hooks, I rotate. And this line hips. You can also think of body triangles as you can rotate within them. So one thing I've also done is I will suck this leg backwards just so I can start turning. And then figuring out the upper body right here so I can just turn. That's like just a quick.
Yeah.
You want to work that?
Yeah.
Any questions? You guys all want to get? Yeah. For the bottom half, it's all pretty much the same. Getting rid of the foot so I can the bottom hook so I can misalign my hips. And then literally there's this control here that's keeping his chest into my back. And I want to get rid of that control. And it's mainly this far. So either I bring it over and escape, or I can come over and grab and escape the elbow. If you do end up doing the one where maybe you get the top hook out and you disconnect this way, there are also options here where I can swing this arm in and then just end up it. But if that's, I'm throwing a lot of information at you guys, so I think it will make more intuitive sense when after you escape your foot, it's just that far elbow or that far shoulder. We'll just drill this out pretty quickly. You guys 5 minutes later. When you guys do escape the bottom, so like whichever side it is, let's say it's the overhook side. When I do escape the bottom, I also I think about like moving my legs like this to track this foot. Why? Because if I end up escaping and we're in this position right here, it's a scramble. Let's say Frank gets up first. I maintain a guard here. Whereas if I didn't hook that, there could be the possibility that he mounts me, which is not what I want. So if I'm here and I forget to do that, yeah, I might get mounted here. Of course, there are options where I grab the foot and I frame him and I get a single X. But if I can prevent that one step before, that's a good option for me. We'll go into a little bit of retention. So let's talk about like what happens if my partner, we'll talk about the feet first. So overhook or unhook, if my partner starts misaligning up top, basically like I do the chair sit here. So if I can, I'm coming up and pressuring my chest into his back, and then I'm sliding my knee up behind here with my chin and my entire leg molded to his back. Because he escaped the bottom hook and not my top one, it's okay to just keep this top hook. And then I sit to my left. So my top hook becomes my bottom hook, and I throw in my hook again. And then he'll do it again, he'll escape this bottom hook, and again, I have my top hook still. And I have this bottom leg that can help me, I can push into the mat to come up. And I think the important thing here is like, because his chest or his back is beginning to look at the mat, I really need to exert pressure to get it back up again. And then I'll hop up, knee up to the ear almost, with my shin lined up against his back here. Top hook turns into bottom hook. In the cases where like he gets his bottom hook out and he's really flat, there are times I will extract this top hook and come to the outside of his leg to really push him that way. And then with no legs, I'll start to come up, trying to maintain just the back line. Here it's like I have no hooks and he's basically in turtle. So maybe I have to think of other ways to break him down again and get back to it. So sometimes I go ahead and see over. Sometimes I will hook the outside of his leg here, create tension. So I have 2 points of connection, one under his calf, one at the thigh, to basically try and re-expose the back to come up again, and then get my hooks in slowly with my upper body connection. So we'll talk quickly about what happens when, let's say one of the unhooked side, Frank gets his head to the mat. How do we recover this? So he's basically misaligned chest to back, so I have to regain that. I don't want to lose this. And there are various ways that you can do this. One way is I can pinch the knees and just bring him to the other side, like that. I can also take this hand and come behind his head and just grab him to realign and get my own head back. So various ways that you can do this. I think the main goal is to just find a way to regain your chest to their back. Whether it's kind of like a base of the foot, the lower foot, so I can use my knee to push him up and then basically break him over. Or literally like a grab of like the neck, the trap. I tend not to do like the shoulder here because it just doesn't seem like a very good point. But I'll grab him and pull him back up. And then if it's on the overhook side, I tend to just go for this underhook grab. And then along the knee pinch to bring them back up. You guys can experiment around with different grips. But we'll close out for another 5 and then we'll play a game. That's it. Any questions?
When you get to the position that you want to sit back, when I do what with bigger guys, it's not easy.
Well, you don't wait classes.
Yeah, no, I'm saying about training. So when you is it okay to just keep rolling? So I go this way?
Yes.
Roll, like roll
Yeah.
everything?
It's perfectly fine to do that. You end up in the same position. So we're here. Now I come up,
Yeah, so now
you smash and stepping.
Yeah.
Lately I actually like doing this, which is like I come up in this position and I just stay here and I look at chokes over here because I still have good alignment and I'm using the map to hit them, but it's totally okay to just go all the way this way and get the same thing. Yep. All right, on 2 and 2.
Hey, Frank, can I ask a defense question?
Yeah. Start in this position where we have the seatbelt. You can go underhook, overhook, whichever side you want, and you will escape this lower hook. And this is the position that you go to. My goal is if I can get the back, if I can retain the back with hooks in again, the game is over. If Frank escapes, the game is over. So like I'm looking to press your hand in, maybe do a chair sit. He's looking to get his back out of the mat. This is not over. I still have to get this top hook in. So he's defending by preventing me getting my hook in and he keep it. So underhook or overhook side with no legs